Hi, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new Vectra AI podcast. Today, we have a familiar phrase from our previous podcast joining us today, Geroyd from our product management team, to talk about a brand new capability we just rolled out, Global View for multi-brain. So thank you for joining us today.
Nice to be here.
Perfect. So we'll jump right in, and we, want to know, what is Global View?
Yeah. Global View is a new exciting feature that we've released where we basically allow for a federated view of multiple different appliances to give global SOC teams basically visibility over either multiple regions or subsidiaries or where there's technical constraints. If you imagine you're a company and you have, say, a subsidiary in Europe, a subsidiary in Australia, a subsidiary in America, these are all maybe isolated business units. Maybe they each have their own SOC, but you in the global SOC need to be able to have some level of visibility into each of those customers, into each of your subsidiaries. Global View enables that completely. Each of your customers has a view into their own Respond UX. They can get attack signal intelligence for their environment, but you, as the global SOC, can come in and can oversee everything from on top. If you have technical constraints, like say different environments in your company have overlapping IPs, or you just have huge data transfer costs, or you're just so big that even the largest imaginable infrastructure that could be created just won't work for your environment, Global View enables you to get attack signal intelligence even for that big an environment. That's what it is. It is basically making sure that we can support customers with the environments that they have so that it works as seamlessly as possible. Ooh.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, to your point, a lot of organizations today are global and they, simply don't have visibility into everything. So this helps with that. So thank you.
Yeah.
So
the next question is probably, how does it work?
Yes, exactly. So please tell us in your own words, how does it
Yeah,
work?
of course. So this is basically fundamentally viable thanks to our pretty innovative, I think game-changing Respond UX, which is a Vectra hosted view in the Vectra cloud, whereby you can connect your brain to that Respond UX. So if you have multiple different brains, say one for each subsidiary, you would set those network brains up as normal. Those network brains may then or will then connect to a Vectra hosted Respond UX, and you can connect up your identity coverage or your cloud coverage to those as well. And then what we do is we build on top of that a global view with a view of each of those single Respond UX views. The machine learning is still performed in the brain. The actual underlying data, the packet captures are all kept in the brain, but just the detections and metadata are sent to the cloud for a quicker analyst experience. And access is completely controllable. You can grant access to a specific tenant, or you can grant access globally.
Perfect. I love how flexible it is for everyone. So thank you.
Yeah. Indeed. Will I jump into a demo?
Yes, please.
Absolutely. My pleasure. So this is it, live in action on our demo instance. The global view is really focused on, in this pass, simplifying the analyst experience, showing you just the key information you need. This is zoomed in slightly too much. Let me just make it smaller a bit. But we've really focused on how to make sure that the analyst who comes in can see the top priority that they have. And this is all built on the Vectra Respond card. So effectively what we're saying here is when an analyst comes in, their question is, well, what do I need to look at? And that's always the top priority. We use AI-driven prioritization to assign every entity an urgency score, which is built on multiple factors. But you can see on top of what do I need to look at, the three big questions. Who is this? What do they do? Why should I care? In this top left corner, you can see the entity info. You can see where there have been detections, in this case, intra IT and network. You can see what groups they're in and when they were last seen. You'll also note here that we actually show both global view, which is normally UTC if you're a global SOC, But also, say if it's a customer who's based in Australia, you can see their local time zone. It's a nice little feature we have just to really simplify the experience. But you can also see what have they done and why should I care? Why are we prioritizing this? In this case, the activity that we're seeing here looks exactly like an external adversary. So we flag that up and we let you know guys need to investigate this as early as possible. If we want to actually jump into it or say, oh, well, this warrants further investigation, it's a one-click seamless pivot into that Respond UX where you can just see exactly the information you need for that user. So you have all the information you need in here as well. And once you're finished investigating, say you want to finish this investigation, you just pivot back up to the global view and you can see everything you need in there. It's really simple. The idea here is that we're going to make as much of our product available globally as possible to make it as easy as possible to manage your diverse environment and make it as simple as possible, basically. It's all about making it a seamless experience for the SOC.
Yes, exactly. I love it. Thank you. I'm a big fan of our prioritization. So having all of this in a unified view with our prioritization able to pivot between detections is so important. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's a really good feature. We hope it'll make everyone's life a lot easier. It's a seamless experience across the global SOC is exactly what we're aiming for.
Perfect. All righty. Well, thank you. And with that brings us to the end of our podcast for today. As always, you can subscribe to our Vectra AI YouTube channel to check out all of our podcasts, including this one. Thank you all for listening, and thank you again for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Nicole. Cheers.
Bye.